Once, when John the Baptist was having doubts about who Jesus was, he sent some of his own disciples to ask Jesus if he really was the Messiah. And Jesus said in response, "Go back and tell John that those who suffer from lower back pain, well, they can now bend over and touch their toes. Those with sore necks can now turn their heads. And, well, those whose pinkies hurt, they can now do this." No, that's not what Jesus said. Jesus said instead, "Go back and tell John that the lame can walk, the blind can see, the deaf can hear, the mute can speak." In other words, those were things that Jesus could only have done by the hand of God. He could not have achieved those as a result of some sort of psychological manipulation. Now, I was reminded of that recently after watching Joe Rogan on YouTube interview a popular hypnotist, a hypnotist who also happens to be an atheist. And the hypnotist was saying that after watching these so-called faith healers on TV, he wondered, well, could he achieve similar results? And so, during a number of his live performances, he would ask for volunteers from the audience, people suffering from, say, back pain. And to make a long story short, through psychological manipulation, he was able to heal some of them, take away their pain. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's impossible for God to heal people today. What I am saying, however, is that I think as a church we need to be far more skeptical when we hear about so-called healings. Because let's be honest, how many of those are actually about the blind seeing, the lame walking, the deaf hearing, the mute speaking? Things, of course, that only God could do, rather than your run-of-the-mill testimonials of how someone had a sore back, but after prayer they now feel better. Because there are many John the Baptists in our churches today, especially among the young, who are struggling with their faith. They have doubts. And I'm sorry, but trying to convince them that Jesus is real by saying that because of Jesus you can now do this, well, that's not really going to help the situation.